hadn't opened the gate and left the garden to play beyond the walls. If they'd stayed where they were supposed to, they wouldn't have seen the flash of red fur darting across the moors to the woods. At first, Mitch had been just as excited about chasing the fox as Sarah, and scrambling down the incline from their house to the frozen expanse of the moors had been fun. But now they'd gone too far. It was getting dark, and they were a long way from home. He was about to tell Sarah that they should go back when she pulled her hand free of his and bolted towards the woods, leaving him holding her wet mitten, while she sprinted across the frozen ground, squealing in excitement. "There it is! There's the fox!" "Sarah, come back!" He tried to chase her, but slipped on the ice, landing heavily on his side, his breath exploding out of him in a puff of mist. Scrambling to his feet, he just had time to see Sarah disappear into the woods. "Sarah, wait for me!" He ran for the trees, trying to ignore the pain in his side. When he reached the woods, the evening gloom had deepened into a nighttime darkness that was pure black beneath the trees. "Sarah, are you in here?" he whispered. He knew he should shout, but something inside him wouldn't let him speak louder than a whisper, as if he should be quiet in here because something was lurking in the darkness and might come for him if it knew where he was. He knew that was silly, but he couldn't shake the feeling that something else was in these woods besides him, Sarah, and the stupid fox. He told himself Sarah needed him, and he managed to call her name. There was a touch of panic audible in his voice, but he shouted loud enough that she should be able to hear him. There was no reply. He had to look for her, had to walk into the darkness beneath the trees. "You can do this," he told himself. "You've got to do this." He stepped forward and almost jumped out of his skin when a dead leaf crackled beneath his wellies. Trying to breathe normally again, his heart hammering in his chest, he entered the woods. The trees around him began to rustle. He shrank back slightly. He was too old to believe in monsters, at least during the daytime, but right now, standing alone in the dark woods with his heart hammering, he could believe anything. He'd seen programs on telly about creatures that lived in remote places, creatures like Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster. There was even a name for the study of such creatures. Crypto something. These woods on the edge of the moors were remote. Had a crypto-something creature come out of the darkness and taken Sarah to its lair? Maybe she was alone in the dark right now, wondering why he hadn't come to save her. That thought drove him forwards. He walked into the woods, searching the blackness beneath the trees for any sign of his sister. The rustling got louder, and snowflakes began drifting down between the trees. Mitch breathed a sigh of relief. The sound wasn't a monster after all, just the snow rustling through the branches overhead. "There are no monsters," he whispered to himself. "No monsters here at all." The snowflakes were big and fat. They got in his eyes and stuck to his eyelashes, making it even harder to see. His cheeks and nose were numb with cold. "Sarah must be cold too, and she's only got one mitten." He called her name again, but the snowfall seemed to muffle his voice. The flakes were falling so fast now that they formed a white wall all around Mitch. "Sarah!" he shouted again, but his voice barely croaked out of him. It took only a few minutes for the ground to become a white, slippery blanket. He couldn't see the roots and branches hidden underneath the snow, and every time he stepped forward, he had to be careful not to trip over them. He suddenly felt that he was being watched, and spun around to make sure no one was behind him. A dark shape detached itself from the dark shadows beneath a tree and ran towards him. He screamed and turned away from the shape, breaking into a run that he prayed was faster than that of the thing chasing him. A buried root connected with his Wellington and sent him sprawling in the snow. He landed hard, the air rushing.